Hey guys, how we doing? Tenor here from Tenor Talk and founder of Patriot Finder. Sending you this message. We got some exciting news. We started the Healing the World Tour. What is the Healing the World Tour, Tenor? Well, I want you to understand, each and every one of you, how powerful you are. What has been kept from us, the distractions that have been going on for millennia and continue to go on, the poisoning of our food, all of those things are to keep us away from our divinity, which is internal. And I'm bringing receipts with this one, so stick around for a few minutes. I want to show you something that is so powerful when people understand how to use the emotion the correct way. Our emotions have been used against us for millennia. That's why we actually created and manifested the times that we're living through, because we're all connected. It's collective, connected consciousness. So we're creating the world that we're living through by, I don't want to get into that in this video, but by just so much manipulation, missing books, altered scriptures. I mean, you name it, the list goes on. And so, in the Lost Book of Thomas, they unearth another book, the Lost Book of Thomas, and not once but three times in that book, they're teaching the proper way to pray, the proper way to pray. And it's not to ask and ye shall receive, it's to see what you are asking for and celebrate it in your heart. Connect your mind and your heart and celebrate the event or the healing or whatever it is that you wish that you would be praying for. Whatever it is that you are praying for, you are supposed to see it and celebrate it as if it has already happened. And I have done this several times in my life, and this is why the Torah has actually happened, because I manifested this well over a year ago. So I'll talk about that in detail about another show. I just want to keep this video short about some of the things that we want to accomplish on the tour. And so people in another country, if you follow Gregg Braden, if you don't, you should start. You should cut out, a half hour a week and subscribe to Gregg Braden, because when you listen to what you're going to listen to right now, and you need to know that this is real. So three people that understand the language, the emotion, have treated a woman out of the country in a medicineless hospital, and they are using this emotion, and they understand how to do it, how to tap into it fully. And this is what we want to work on. And they remove, by their thought and emotion alone, they remove a cancer tumor in this woman's stomach or bladder, and you watch it happen on the machine, on the sonogram machine, in real time. They have a still shot of the tumor, and then they have the tumor just disappearing as if you were like sliding a slider on Photoshop in less than 3 minutes. That's the power that we have. That's one of the biggest reasons for the Healing the World Tour. So please, for you, just spend a couple of minutes. I clipped it down. Just watch this. Please just watch this and know that you, each and every one of us, are this powerful to heal ourselves and beyond.
So any discussion regarding this feeling-based prayer, this lost mode of prayer, sometimes seems a little more than academic until we can actually apply it in our lives or see it applied in our lives. It was in the late 1990s that I had the opportunity to do precisely that, when I saw the footage documenting the healing of a life-threatening condition within the body of a living woman using precisely the kinds of techniques that we're speaking about right now. For me, it was this kind of information that took this lost modality of prayer out of the realm of academics and into something that's very real that we can apply in our lives. I had the opportunity during that time to see some video footage of the healing of a 3-inch diameter bladder cancer inside the body of a woman who, by Western medical standards, had been diagnosed inoperable. She had gone, as a last resort, to a medicineless hospital in Beijing, China. It was in this medicineless hospital where they began simply by addressing the life-affirming ways that she could change how she was living her life. They taught her life-affirming ways to breathe and life-affirming ways to nourish her body, gentle movements to stimulate the energy centers in her body. And as she was doing these and strengthening her body, at one point it made sense to undergo a process. Now I'd like to share this. I'd like to describe it to you as a very potent example of how the feeling world inside of our bodies has a direct effect, in this case a very graphic effect, on the world beyond our bodies. So in the video documentation, the film shows a woman lying on in a hospital room. She's fully awake, she's fully conscious, she believes in the process that's about to happen. Before her, there is an ultrasound technician who is running an ultrasound wand over her lower abdomen that we can see on a split-screen television. And on the left-hand side of the screen, they do a snapshot, a freeze frame of an instant in time for reference, so we can see what her condition looked like in that instant in time. On the right-hand side of the screen, we are able to watch real time as 3 practitioners stand behind her, working with the energy in her body and with the feelings in their bodies. And what they do is they begin to chant a word that to them they've agreed upon, that reinforces the feeling within them that she's already healed. The chant essentially says already healed, already done. And as they begin to have this feeling and to say these words among themselves, on the computer screen, on the television screen, we can watch in real time this cancerous tumor as it disappears in less than 3 minutes real time. It's not like time lapse on a documentary where you see a rose unfold in 30 seconds and something that normally takes days. This literally happens in less than 3 minutes. Her body responded to the feelings of the practitioners who were trained to have the kinds of feelings that they were having. And all they were feeling was the feeling of what it feels like to be in the presence of a woman who is already healed, fully enabled, fully capacitated. They were not seeing her as a woman who was sick, and they weren't saying, bad cancer, you've got to go away. It's a very, very different way of thinking about things, and it's a very graphic example of precisely how this principle works. I had the opportunity to speak to the gentleman, Luke Chen, that actually created this film. And I asked him a question. I said, what if those 3 practitioners weren't there? I said, could this woman have done this? Could any of us do this on our own? And he smiled at me when I asked him the question. He said, Gregg, in all probability, she probably could have done it alone. However, there's something about us humans in that we seem to feel more empowered and stronger when we're supported by others in the things that we believe in and in the things that we choose to accomplish. So while she probably could have had this feeling and done it herself, having these 3 practitioners work with her was the threshold that it took for her body to respond. All they were doing was having the feeling as if she were already healed, and in less than 3 minutes her body responded. What Western physics now is beginning to tell us is that the same energy, the same field that led to the healing in this woman's body also leads to peace between nations. It's the same thing, different scale, same principle. And I've been involved in experiments where hundreds of thousands of people joined together through the World Wide Web. We were coordinated on the internet at a given hour of time, a window of time, when we were trained to feel the feelings of peace in our bodies during that time. And when we did that, statistically, what happened in events around the world, there were wartime events. There were bombings, aerial bombings in Iraq that were scheduled, that were reversed during the window of time when this prayer was happening. Crimes against people declined. Emergency hospital room visits declined. There was a computer research project at Princeton University that was able to document the field of consciousness on a global level while these prayers were going on, and they saw a little glitch, a glyph on the screen indicating that consciousness was responding to hundreds of thousands of people feeling the feeling of peace in the moment that it was occurring. Not see all of this chaos in the world around you distracting you
from yourself if there wasn't something within you that was so valuable it warrants that level of distraction. I want you to think about that. And I know it's a very different way of thinking for some people, and for others, it's right up your alley of what you've always felt. Maybe you've never heard it verbalized. It's important that we verbalize this because in the next 4.5 years, we will be coerced, we will be mandated, we will be invited, we will be indoctrinated to accept new technologies, not just in the world, but into our bodies. I want to talk to you about this in future episodes. There's a reason for that, and it all falls under the broad umbrella of the ancient struggle between light and dark, good and evil. The goal of the struggle, remember, is to deny you your divinity.
Isn't that wild? I'm going to do a more detailed video, so make sure you subscribe. Go to Healing the World Tour, and in the links, you'll see Tenor Talk, and that's where all of my platforms are, my Rumble, my YouTube, all of my social media. So make sure you subscribe if you want to, follow this. If you can't make the tour, we hope to stream several of them live. So you can be watching and attending and participating with us because we can do this all over the world. As Gregg mentioned, this consciousness, it stopped wars. It stopped crime. This is real, everyone. So this is what I want to focus and concentrate on with this tour and make people understand. So I want to keep this one short. So if you like what you saw and you heard so far, please make sure you subscribe to me. So I'm going to be shooting a very detailed video with more of this information and more of Gregg's stuff. He's dedicated his whole life to this, and Dr. Joe Dispenza. His one of his books helped change my life, and I manifested my dog. In a few weeks, my dog arrived, and it was even purchased for me. My beautiful little miniature Chihuahua Bambi. So I envisioned the dog in my life for several weeks. I couldn't. It's hard to connect everyone. This is something that we have to work on. Because we've been poisoned, we've been manipulated, we're distracted with all of these things, and it takes dedication to get out of the subconscious mind that's already been programmed. So these are the things. If you're liking what you see and what you hear, like I said, go to healingtheworldtour.com. Healingtheworldtour.com. We're going to be in Michigan and Pandora on the 12th and 13th of April. It continues down towards Texas. We'll be in Texas on the 25th and the 26th of April, and we should be adding some stops in between. So subscribe at healingtheworldtour.com right on the homepage, and you can we'll send you an email when we add more dates. So that's it. I want to keep this one short, but like I said, please subscribe. The Tenor Talk link is in healingtheworldtour.com. You click on Tenor Talk. Make sure you subscribe to all of my social media so you can at least watch these live if you can't attend. And like I said, so anyway, get over to healingtheworldtour.com and tenortalk.com, and we hope to see you on the tour, or we will see you live. And I hope you check out my next video that I'm going to be doing in a couple of days. So please stay in touch, and I love you all, and I hope to see some of you again and some new people on the tour. God bless. Have a great day.